Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zeriko Hakathos with Demonosophy and Beyond. I'm here with another book review, and today's book is Satanism in Theory and Practice. Now, before I get into the book review, I would like to just give a message to all the Christians out there who like to put their 2 cents in my comment area. I don't give a fuck. With that said, let's start with the book review. Now, the first thing I like about the book review, about the book, is that the color scheme, red and black, my favorite colors. It's also a very well-made book, hardbound, good for reference. Um, the author, Evyn Aytch, Aytch, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But anyway, um, I like the way that she wrote this book because it's not full of big words. It's not confusing. It's very straightforward. And she talks about in the book how it's made for people who seek to understand Satanism. And, she made this book with the idea of helping people so that they wouldn't have to go to multiple resources in order to understand the different forms of Satanism. She also lists the works cited, and she also lists books of reading material if you want to investigate Satanism further, which is great. The book is split up into 3 parts. So the first part explains the different forms of Satanism. It talks about Levian Satanism, talks about theistic Satanism, atheistic Satanism, and it even covers Luciferianism. It goes into the history of Satanism that also predates Levian Satanism and its roots and how it began to form throughout history. Uh, let's see. It also talks about the Satanic Symbols, which I think is nice. It brings up both the sigils as well as the different animals that are associated with Satanism. And once I get to the page, I will show you. Okay, so it has a section on satanic symbols. There you see Lucifer. You've got the Leviathan cross. You've got the symbols for Venus as well as Mercury. We know that Venus is the morning star, which is associated with Lucifer. The crescent moon and the rose. And I didn't know about the crescent moon or the rose being associated with Satanism. So, uh, even though I have studied Satanism before, I'm still learning uh, from this. And this book is designed for people who are beginners or just looking to explore Satanism. But that doesn't mean that people who are experienced can't glean anything from this. So the other satanic symbols, well, it has Lilith here, and it has the inverted triangle. I did not know that the inverted triangle was associated with Satanism, but now I know. It has the inverted cross as well as the eye. You've got the cat. And you've got the snake. The rat, which I did not know was associated. And of course the goat. The bat, the crow. The spider and the eel. And the coyote. Okay. So, the second part of this book covers how to form a satanic coven. And this part gives you pointers, but it also sets up a kind of template to set up a satanic coven. And not just a satanic coven, but just a coven in general. So it talks about the different types of covens that you can form, such as a hierarchical coven or a more democratic coven, and it talks about the pros and cons of both. It goes into initiation. I don't know if you can see that. Initiation, as well as excommunication, because, when you have a coven, there has to be some structure. There has to be some kind of rules, or else everything, would just be willy-nilly. It goes over setting up coven activities. And I like it because it talks about not just doing, ritual and spell work with your coven mates. It talks about how, the people in your coven should be like your friends. And it talks about how, this is a form of spirituality and it's very intimate. So you need to watch who you have in your coven. You don't want to have somebody in your coven that you don't like. And it also goes through some suggestions on how to initiate people. And it talks about how meeting these people in face to face is very important many times before initiating them, because it brings up the fact that people who are fake, they can't keep up the facade for long. So if they're not patient, then eventually their true face comes out. Let's see. So ritual magic talks about public performances, talks about arts and craft. It talks about how coven members should have different responsibilities, and kind of how to give those responsibilities out. And it covers more of that kind of in the hierarchical coven. And it even talks about, writing poetry. Because it's integral to a coven and bonding to do fun things together. So it brings that out. The book brings that out. The third part of the book is on spells, prayers, and meditations. Okay. So a lot of these, if not all of them, are very simple. It goes through meditations, and the meditations aren't very lengthy. The prayers aren't very lengthy. The hymns, very simple. You've got mantras. Tells you how to cast a circle. Just some simple foundational stuff. Let's see. There was also something else that I wanted to show you guys. That I think was in here. Okay. So, it has suggestions on initiation. I don't know why this wasn't in How to Form a Coven, but let's see. To initiate a new witch. Okay. So it gives you a template for that in case you don't know how to do a certain ritual of initiation. It's right there. So, you can take this, insert whatever god or goddess you're using for your coven, and run with it. It talks about how to hold black masses. Covers blood offerings. And then, towards the end, you have the recommended reading. Okay? So for any of you who were ever thinking about setting up a group, a coven, this is a very good book. This is actually why I purchased the book, is, on how to establish a foundation for a coven. That was my prime goal in reading this book. But, it's cool to see that, you have these spells, you have these meditations that are simple. A lot of new witches think that, rituals have to be very complex, magic has to be complex, and that is not the truth. A lot of it is about intent and will. And if you put your intent and will into your spells, it doesn't matter how long it is or how complex it is. It should work. I hope that this author is inspired to write again, because I like the straightforwardness of her style. I know that she has a YouTube channel, but right now I don't think there's much on it. I think there was like 2 videos when I went to check out her YouTube video, but I definitely will keep an eye out to see if she releases more, whether it is a book or, more YouTube videos, because I'm definitely interested in what she's got going on. With that said, I'm going to wrap things up. I hope everybody is doing well, educating themselves in magic, practicing the magic, and I hope that their magic is working very well. I would like to thank all the supporters. I have 100,000. I posted a short about it. Never really saw myself getting there, but here I am, and, those people that are subscribed to me are definitely special to me. I'm not trying to reach the whole world. Like, my practice is not for everybody. My knowledge is not for everybody. But there are definitely people out there who need somebody to explain their experiences, to inspire others, and, just let them know that, if they're going through certain experiences and they're at the beginning of their path, you're not crazy. You're not alone. So that's what I'm here for. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and dark blessings.